part of a new series called Brooklyn Dave's Greatest Hits. This is taking advantage of the fianchettoed bishop. But this Greatest Hits video is from a game I played with Carlini, another YouTube channel, and you can find it by just searching the most elegant mate in coffee chess history. And you will find this game, and if you'd like to go watch that game first, and now I will explain the thinking behind it. And it's a game that I was losing horribly, and then I pulled it out. So I hope you enjoy this video. This is, like I said, something different. And this is a game of mine versus the Great Carlini. I'm white, obviously, and I start with e4. I always start with e4. Nothing new there, okay? Carlini plays c5. We got a Sicilian. I'm not going to go too much into the early moves. It's not an opening study, but this is going to turn into the Grand Prix attack. But I'm playing knight c3 first because I don't want to block this pawn. And you'll see why. Because this pawn goes there. And I will get a duo. So I play knight c3, and he plays knight c6. All very standard, and here we go. Here's f4. And now you see this duo here, these two pawns. And if black castles kingside, you will see that I have what I said in some of my earliest videos. I will be trying to have a space advantage on the kingside. So that is the idea of not blocking the f-pawn so that I can do this. Okay, so f4, d6. Just a basic developing move. Knight f3. Now I bring out the knight, since this pawn is not blocked. g6. This is one of the best ways to play against the Grand Prix. Bishop b5. The idea of this is that when I eventually play this, I don't block in that bishop. So I'm going to trade that bishop for this knight here, eventually. Okay, then Carl plays a strange move. Plays here, which I don't see a lot. The only reason I would think he would play there is to take back this, if I take, with the queen. But he's also looking at this, maybe making it hard for me to develop my bishop, my black bishop, because this pawn will be hanging. Okay? Well, I don't see queen b6 very often. So I just take it right away. Just get it done. And I thought he would take with the queen, but he doesn't. Takes this way. Doubles his pawn. But now he has support in the center for this move, which is usually a freeing move in a Sicilian if you can get in d5, okay? And I just simply castle here. And I don't care that he can play here and check me. I just move my king. I really don't care. He plays another strange move in his position, bishop a6. Maybe it's not that strange. He's hitting this rook, right? And now I play a bad move. I should probably just play d3 here, because this rook here belongs on this file, because it helps support the push here later on. Another idea of the Grand Prix is to go here and then to shoot over here later. But I don't get to do any of that because I do this, which is a bad move, I think. I played badly in the opening. I was getting crushed. He was crushing me. So I play rook e1. Plays bishop g7. Fianchetto. This is the fianchettoed bishop, which looks down here, puts pressure over here. Okay? And he's probably already equalized here because I'm not playing very accurately. I make another it's a prophylactic move. King h1 to get away from all these weird checks if something's happening later. I could also maybe in some variations start really going for it. Not now, but after I develop. So I play king h. And then he plays knight h6. Getting ready to castle. He could play knight here, but then he'd run into this immediately. And if he takes, and I take back, just visualize this, then he would have double isolated pawns here, right? If he takes here, and I take back, I could even take back with the knight. It would be a terrible move for him to take. So then that would kick the knight. Where would the knight go? It doesn't really have a great square. I guess he could go there. But anyway, he plays here and avoids all that. And, a lot of times if I do play here later on, then the knight has a nice square here, right? This is all very standard. So he played knight h6. I played d3. Freeing this bishop here, right, for action later on. Because I'm going to try to attack on the black squares, right? And as you'll see, the black squares do become weak. And not to give too much away. So now he castles, right? He castles here. So far, so good. I play f5, which is probably premature. Now, he can win a pawn by taking, right? And then taking back with the knight. But that would kind of loosen his king. So he now plays c4. And then I play another bad move. I should probably play here. Sack this pawn here. And then just play the queen up and, sack a pawn. But then I would get my queen here and be hitting his knight, double up on his knight. Then he could go here and so on and so forth. Then I could play here. All right, I don't want to get too busy here. So anyway, so I played bishop f4 instead so that he couldn't bother. If I play here, he could bother my bishop, right? So it kind of winds up happening. Anyway, this is a disaster. He's doing very well now. And part of this game is to show how you can snatch a win out of defeat. So I play bishop f4, and he does play knight b4. And I'm already looking bad. This square is where the knight's going, and how do I stop it now? I can't. I guess I could play it. Probably what I should have played here is here. That would have been much. Then he could play the knight in here and bother me. But anyway, I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. I played awful so far. So I played queen d2, and black's already much better. He's winning, and he plays knight f2 check. I have only one move. I have to play here. Now there was a big controversy so I want you to look at this position. You can pause the video, and he has discover checks, right? He can move this, make a check. He could take here and check, right? It looks like he's winning the queen. The queen's hanging, right? If he takes there, he's hitting my queen. And various people watching the game, like Mike, Boston Mike, was saying that black can win the queen here. But no, he can't. Because if he takes here, this pawn, check, right? Check. But I just block with the queen here, right? And bishop's holding it. So he'd win a pawn, but he's not. There's no queen. There's no way he can win the queen here. So he wants to get rid of my bishop, so he plays check here. Probably not his strongest move. And I go back in here. Now he can have a draw, just going back and forth here. But he's winning. He'd be stupid to take a draw. So he takes here. Boom. And I take here. And he takes here. Because Carlini loves his pawns. My knight's hanging. I move it. He takes just another pawn. So, in this position, black is winning. I really don't have much hope. I do have some pieces. I have pieces and pawns. I have a space advantage. I have pieces ready to go to his king side, but not enough. And his counterattack is very strong. And he's up some pawns. I mean, I'm crushed here. I'm just lost, to be honest with you. So what do I do? Now this knight, let me see if I missed a move. So I play d4 here. He plays c3. Now this knight's hanging. It's hit twice. Right? So I have to do something about that. So I play here. Now it's heading towards the king side. So now I have some pieces. And I'm hoping that he makes a mistake here. If he's careful here, this is just a one game for black. I'm just lost. I can't resign yet. I mean, there's still some counterplay. Luckily, I didn't resign because, well, you'll see. So I just played knight g3, and then he develops a rook. I develop a rook and kick his queen. He brings the queen here. And his pawn's got wheels it's going to go, and he's got just all kinds of action, you know. He's got just monstrous stuff, right? So here I go, and I play here. Now, there is a threat, right? But not much. I'm just trying to, basically, I'm leaving some bait here, right? He's got a pawn and yet another pawn. Okay, he should not take that pawn. What he should just do is kick my knight back out. My knight will go back. And, you know, I can try and get a kingside attack, but it's not going to work. Except it does. It does work because Carlini loves his pawns, and he plays this move. Now, at this point, right now, he's winning. He's plus like 3 point something. He's up the equivalent of a piece materially. And white is just lost. Black is winning. Carlini's winning. And yet he grabs another pawn. Believe it or not, this move here, taking this pawn, this one pawn too many, absolutely loses the game. And in the video, I say it, you just got daved. Do you see why? Pause the video, look at different variations. Take your time, because black is busted now, because this bishop is not at home, and these black squares now become death. Okay? It's white to move. Watch the move. Calculate the follow-up. I am telling you now that as of this moment forward, just on this move, before this move he was +3, and now he's mated. He's crushed. Okay? So pause the video, look at it, and here we go. And as I make this move, I'm talking all kinds of shit to him. And I'm right, because the eval bar shoots way up for white here. Okay? This is deadly. He doesn't have time to go back here, right? Because this is mate. The bishop goes here. The bishop goes back here. Queen takes pawn is mate. So he doesn't have time to go back there. Nor can he do this, which he could have done if the bishop was here. Because I'll just take it with the queen, and we're looking at mate again. Right? So now he realizes, when I play this queen move here, he realizes that he's screwed, basically. I'm sorry if I'm looking down here, but I've got the moves written down. Bishop d4, I give that a double question mark. Queen h4 is winning. So there's various different things he can try, right? Like he could try this. This might be his best try. And I won't go into it too far, but the answer to that is this. Check. He can't take with the pawn. He can't take with the pawn, and he can't take with the bishop, because it's interference. It's a helpmate. It cuts off his king from escaping. Because if he takes with either the pawn or the bishop, queen taking his pawn is mate. Right? So he has to take with the king. Right? So this is one of my favorite moves. This move is one of my favorite moves all time. I'm sorry. I'm looking down, you know. Where did I have it? Yeah, F6. All right? No, that didn't happen yet. Hold on. Okay. So he doesn't do that. I'm sorry. I said that was his best try. His best try was to try to do this, and I showed you what the answer was. But what he does is this, which doesn't work. Obviously, I mean, I saw this. I played this move instantly. After h5, I just immediately sack there. You know, it's not even, I don't even think about it. He doesn't take back. If he takes back, and if he takes back here, and I take with the queen, then he's just getting mated again. pretty much the same way. Okay? So after I play knight takes it, he tries this. I don't know what he's hoping for me to take back with the queen. Then he could take the knight and buy some time. I don't know. But this just kills. Because if he takes here, I just made him. Okay? Taking here doesn't save him. I probably just take back with the pawn and mate him anyway, because I'm still threatening mate. Oh yeah, if he takes here, this is just mate, right? So he can't. When I play knight here, he can't even take. He can't take here, because queen here is mate. All right, immediately. So I blocked there. I saw a lot of this. How much did I see of it when I played originally queen h4 when he took this pawn here? I didn't see all of it. But I saw that I was going to get a huge attack. And right around here, I already know I'm winning. I'm saying so in the video. Sorry. I can't touch this this wire. It's just like, if I touch it, it's horrible. I can't touch it. So knight takes side, bishop f2, knight g3. Now he tries to run, king g7, right? Notice, if I play here, check, he can run, right? If I play here, he can run out here. So I don't want him to run out. So this is called cutting off the king. So when he plays here, I play what I think is the best move of the game. I play here. That's the move. Do you see why? So let's look at it. So if I check with the queen here, he's just going to run out with his king. He's going to run away. Okay? But by going here, let's look at this. If he takes with the pawn, then this is mate. This is mate here, because the pawn blocks him. And that's the whole theme of this. Kill box strategy. I call it just, cutting off the king, and I'm forcing moves now. So his only move now, after f6, is to take it with the king. And this is another point where you have to be real careful. I could do a double discover check. I could do a, double discover check, and he'd just run back to g7. He would just run back here. So that wouldn't accomplish much. That's not the move. Pause the video again. What's the move? You probably got the idea now, but you can take a minute, pause it. I'm not going to pause too long, because you can pause as long as you want. Okay? And I saw this when I played f6 originally. I saw it was in the draws king, that he wouldn't be able to go back here. And this is, if f6 isn't the best move, this is the best move. Ready? e5. And now it's just forced mate in a few moves. He can't take with the king, because the rook's here, right? If he goes back in here, notice the beauty of this move. If the king goes back here, this is mate. Because that pawn, this pawn here, keeps his king from coming back out here, right? So if he goes here, queen h7 is mate. He can't take with the king, and he can't move anywhere else. The only move is this. So notice how his choices are getting less and less. So he takes here. Forced. Now look again. You can pause it for a second. Which is your move now? Again, if you do the knight discover check, that doesn't do anything. Then he gets away. He runs back in to king g7, and he gets away. But I don't let him get away, of course, so I play here. Check. Now, if I check with the other knight, again, he might get a chance to run away, right? So it matters. But I check this way. This knight here covers the square. If he goes back in here, this knight covers the square, right? If he goes back here, this is mate again. So you see that theme? So if he moves here, it's mate in 1. And even if he moves here, it's mate in 2. Because this knight covers, you see it, right? The knights protect each other. It keeps him from running away there. So his king has to go here. What's your move now? I could take the bishop and mate him in 3. But this is a move, right? Jack. Well, I'm not going to spend too much time because he only has one move. And this is mate. Bada bing, bada boom. I think that's pretty, but that's one of my best mates online, on any website, anywhere. And I was losing that game. What was the key to it? The key to it was that his fianchettoed bishop left home. It seemed so harmless. I mean, it didn't seem like that would cost him the game, did it? But I knew it. I knew it. As soon as I played Queen H4, I knew he was dead. And he was. And so that's the lesson of it, basically, is don't be too greedy. And Carlini loves his pawns. I love the fact that he loves his pawns. If you like the video, then like the video. Click the like button. I hope you're subscribed to the channel if you like it. And there'll be more good stuff coming. That's it for now. Come back again. And don't get Dave, man.
Life is a lie, your life is a lie, a feeling is high, and we don't know why. I don't know you, you don't know me, why can't you see, my heart is a fire, take me away.